Welcome to another Fantasy Goodfellas video where we talk about the top 15 tight end rankings for week 5. You ready?
The Fantasy Goodfellas.
Rolling on the field.
The Fantasy Goodfellas.
All right, before we get started, I want to let you know that I'm not doing too well. My voice is falling apart, so this is going to be a little bit different type of video. It might help you. And this is live, so if you hear some cough and it's because I'm live, there's nothing I can do with it. But we're going to get started by looking at last week's rankings first before we move on to this week's rankings. So this was last week's rankings. Now, these are all, in my opinion, name brands, right? You have all the top players that you hear about. Well, how did they do? Well, here you go. This is the rankings. So if you want to look at this, out of all the 15 predictions that we had, only 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 of our predictions made the top 15. Now, that's terrible. So these rankings don't matter. And if you want to win your fantasy football, I'm suggesting that you're going to have to gamble. Now, out of these 15 rankings of tight ends from last week, only one tight end scored, and it was Mark Andrews, 2 TDs. Now, these are the predictions, not how it played out. So when we go into these predictions, I'm just going to go ahead and jump into this week's predictions. So I'm going to jump into this week's predictions. And again, you see all the same names, and this is what drives me crazy about anybody's predictions. There's no surprise. And if there's no surprise, then what are we doing? And I think that's the question. Of course, you're going to put Travis Kelce in there, Mark Andrews. Sam Laporta is going to make the list. Darren Waller is warming up. So now what I want to do is I want to jump into all the rankings, the top 30 rankings for tight ends for week 4. Let me see if I can pull that up now. Now I'm going to pull that up. These are the top 30 rankings for wide receivers in week 4. Now, Cole Kmet wasn't even on our list. Andrew Ogletree was the third. He was the third best tight end. What did he do? He had a touchdown and 48 receiving yards. Dalton Schultz, Mo Alley Cox. Look at that. 2 tight ends from Indianapolis made the top 30. Noah Gray, Jake Ferguson. Jake Ferguson had a really good game. 77 receiving yards. 7 for 7. So I want to look at, out of all the names that you mentioned, of course, you got Mark Andrews, Dalton Schultz. I'm not sure if he made that ranking. Jake Ferguson, Cade Otton, Tyler Higbee, Noah Fant. Oh, if he would have scored, he got dropped on the 1-yard line in that Monday night game. If he would have scored, it would have been a completely different story. But these are some names that should be on your radar. And I think Smythe from the Miami Dolphins, Sam Laporta, Evan Ingram, CJ. There's that live video I'm talking about. Look at that, 1 receiving yard and 1 touchdown for the New York Jets. So this is the list I want you to pay attention. I don't care about the rankings. On the rankings, that's your predictions, right? You got Travis Kelce, Mark Andrews, TJ Hawkinson, Sam Laporta, Darren Waller. He had 21 receiving yards, but he looked better. Same names. Getting tired of seeing the same names. If you want to win, you got to gamble. Look at this list right here. I'm going to leave it up for a minute. This is the list you should pay attention to. This should be on your radar. Now's the time to kind of put some people into your injury spot and move and pick somebody else up from this. I know I'm going to make a couple moves this week. If we look at week 3, Pharaoh Brown, Donald Parham, Brevin Jordan, Those are top 3 from week 3. Obviously, they didn't appear in week 4, but they're getting some usage. And that's why this video is a little bit different, is I didn't want to go ahead and do the predictions and see what they're trending. To me, it's all about finding some people that you need to put in your lineup. You need to pick up on the waiver wires. And that's why we just did this video like this. All right, I'm falling apart. My voice ain't making it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Put some comments under the video. We'll try to answer them, and we'll do the best we can. All right, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next week.